It's finally done. What's it been, like 10 months? Yikes. We've all wanted to make custom Splatfests, but we never really knew how. There are custom Splatfest servers, but you just don't get to make your own. Now, I am going to share all the information that I've gathered from reverse engineering this game to you. So now you can make your own custom Splatfests, and you can give them to your friends, and you can just play online together and just have fun. Now, keep in mind this video is for educational purposes. You can get banned online if you try and do this. But the Wii U servers are probably going to go down any week now anyway, so who cares? So what you're going to need is your own personal copy of Splatoon and a Wii U. Now, we're not going to do anything with the Wii U. Instead, we're going to be using CMU, which is a Wii U emulator. While you can do all these mods on an actual Wii U, I don't recommend it because you have to poke around in the NAND. With CMU, you can just take your MLC01 folder and then just kind of copy it into another folder to just have a backup, just in case. So you're going to need two apps right out of the bat. First, CMU. We've already discussed that. And then Switch Toolbox. Now, most of the time, if you try and run Switch Toolbox, it's not going to start. This is because Windows kind of just stops you if it runs an unknown program. But because I'm lazy, here's 10 months ago of me explaining how to make it run. If you get a message saying you need to install an app for this task, this is how you do it. What you're going to want to do is open PowerShell and then type in this code. Get-child item, quotation marks, the path of where you extracted the contents to, recurse this thing, unblock file. You get this. Copy the path. Use your arrow keys to go underneath the quotation mark. Delete this. Paste that in there. And it should open up for you now. And then once you do that, we're pretty much ready to go. So now let's go on to part 1, getting the Splatfest to show up. So to start off, we open up Switch Toolbox, go to File, Open, then go to your CMU folder, then go to MLC01, User, Boss, 5000, 10176900, User, Common, Data, Optat2, and you won't see anything here, but if you go down to Supported Files and go to All Files, you'll see these three here. For this part, we're going to pick 544. And it should open up like so. Now to get the Splatfest to show up, you're going to hit the plus here, and then time. Then you're going to see these four things. Announce is when the Splatfest is announced. It's usually like a week in advance, so that you have time to prepare for the Splatfest before it actually starts. Start is when the Splatfest actually starts, when it actually turns night and the Splatfest occurs. End is when that ends, when it goes back to normal and they're calculating all the votes. And result is when it actually tells you the results of the Splatfest. So to change these, you right-click on them, hit Edit, and then you can change the date and time that it's set to. 2016 is the year, 07 is the month, and 05 is the day. I'll start the announcement on today's date, which is currently August 22nd. And this is the time that it actually starts, so you can just add on as many hours as you like. save that. And then we can adjust the start date. And let's make that tomorrow, just for demonstration. Now, of course, the ending has to be after the previous dates. And then the same thing with the results. Alright, so that's basically how it starts. Now to save it, you go up to here and you just hit save file. Then to see your changes, open up CMU. And now when you go into the broadcast, it now shows that there's now a Splatfest. So now let's adjust those times so that the start date is today and the announcement time is the day before. Just save that again. And when you boot up CMU, now you can see it's nighttime, and the Splatfest has actually begun. So that's the basics of actually getting it ready and started up. So now that we've gotten the Splatfest to show up, we can now start on part 2, text editing. So to start with text editing, first you need to save. That's the first thing you should do. So after you save, you want to go up here to text editor. And then once you do that, hit decompile. Then you're going to see all this. And while it looks complicated, it's not really complicated at all. But one thing to note, you shouldn't really go between the text editor and the normal editor. If you do, some things that you do in the text editor won't carry over to the editor and vice versa. So if you're going to flip-flop between the two editors, you want to hit compile when you're going to the text editor to the editor. And then once you do that, it will carry over everything from the text editor to the normal editor. And then if you want to change something from the editor to the text editor, you want to go to the editor, then save it, go to the text editor, and then hit decompile again. So if you do anything in the editor, always decompile it again. But anyway, so what you're going to do is you're going to go under News right here, and then you're just going to scroll down until you see your type of language. Mine is USEN, so United States English. And then you're going to see this. So I already worked on it a little bit, but my Splatfest topic is, should homework be banned? So I put should homework be, and then you're going to see this \n here. That tells the game to stop at should homework be, and then go to the next line, and then print it. If you don't put that \n there, it'll just keep going as far as it can. Then usually it would just cut the word in half, or wherever it needs to fit on the line. So using \n will keep everything nice and neat without words being broken up. So now you're going to see the speak raw text. That should always stay the same no matter what. Now emotion. So you're going to see multiple kinds of emotion here. And so to change it, you select right before the comma and delete to where the C is, and then you type in your emotion. In this case, happy. I will put all the emotions on screen right now, so you can type those in. And then you're going to see speaker here. So C idle left or C idle right. Idle left is Callie and idle right is Marie. So if you wanted Marie to speak right here, you just delete left and then type right. And now Marie will speak here. So then the last thing here is wait button. So this will say to wait for you to press A before it goes to the next line. If you have true enabled, it will speak this line and then it'll stop. And then it'll have little flashing A icon. And then when you click that, then it will go to the next one. And if it's false, it'll just go right on to the next one until it hits wait button true. And then once you do your edits to the text, which you should keep them like one sentence so it doesn't spill over, then you just hit compile, and then you go back and hit save. But what if you don't have enough, or you have too many of these commands? Well, you can just delete them. Or if you need more, just add more. Just pretty much just copy and paste the lines. You just copy this one and paste it, and then you can edit this one to your heart's content. I don't know if there's a limit to how many you can have, or if there's a minimum. I wouldn't expect there to be a minimum, but you never know. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you will see the names here. So it'll say, I am Team Callie, I am Team Marie. So, for this, it's just the same thing. So for this demonstration, Team Callie is Team Homework. So just put, I'm Team / Homework. And then the backslash makes it go to the other line, so it's double-lined. And then USEN Homework as the short name. And then I am Team Marie, I am Team No Homework, and No Homework. So then once you got those figured out and type the way you want, hit compile, and then save. And there you go. That is text editing. So now we can go on to part 3, which is changing the ink color. Now you can do it in the text editor, but I just prefer to use the normal editor. So to go to the normal editor, you just hit compile and save. And now all your edits are now transferred over. So in this instance, you're going to want to go to Teams, and then just single click on these directories. And now you're going to see color. So dictionary 0 is Callie, dictionary 1 is Marie, and dictionary 2, I'm not quite sure. I think it's this thing in the plaza, but I could be wrong. Now these are RGB values, so red, green, blue. So if you just hit edit here, you can edit the red value, the green value, and the blue value. I unfortunately don't know what this last byte is. I've changed it to a multitude of other numbers, but it apparently doesn't do anything to my knowledge. But if anyone wants to experiment and they figure out what it is, tell me in the comments. So in this instance, I've edited Callie's team color to be just plain red. And then I edited Marie's to be just blue. So to test ink colors, I like to set it to the Splatfest mode specifically. And then under Options and Graphics Packs, you can use the No HUD mod, and that will take out any kind of extra animations or all that kind of stuff. So it will be on a black screen for a few seconds. But now once it loads, you can see that Callie is now red and Marie is now blue. If you had the HUD mod on, you wouldn't be able to see past the ink splotches. But with this, it just removes them, so now you can see the entire thing. And that is also the basics of ink coloring. Again, really pretty simple once you kind of know what you're doing. So now we can get on to step 4, graphics editing. So with this, we're finally venturing out of 544. So we want to go to File, Open, All Supported Files. And then you can click on either 543 or 545. I'm going to go with 543 for now. So for 543, you're going to see Hap Texture. And then if you go down to Textures, these are the graphics for the t-shirts. Now, of course, I already edited mine, but I'm going to show you what to do. So let's say I wanted to edit Callie's t-shirt design for the Splatfest. You're going to want to right-click and hit Export. Then you can export as any of these you like. I like PNG. Go back to the desktop, and then you save it there. It's now on the desktop. And then to reinsert it back in the game, you right-click and hit Replace. Then you find your edited graphic. You select it. Don't touch any of these. And then just hit OK. And that's it. Then you just hit save. And then it's the same process for Marie's. And now if we go to File, Open, then we go back to Optat, All Files, then we go down to 545. Now we can see the texture for the panel in the back. So again, it's the same process with the t-shirts. You just File Export and File Replace. Again, really simple. Switch Toolbox is actually super good for all this stuff. But yeah, that's all there is for graphics editing, really. You can change some of these if you really know what you're doing, but you can generally leave it at the defaults. So now we can go on to step 5, changing the maps. Now maps is actually incredibly simple. You just go back to your 544 file, then go to Stages, then Dictionaries, and now you're going to, that shouldn't be here, and you're going to see Dictionary 0, 1, and 2. And then to change that, you just select one, and you can go to Edit, and then you change the map ID to whatever map you want. And I'll put all the maps on screen. So the way the stages work in Splatoon 1 is there are 3 fixed stages that can appear on the Splatfest. It doesn't work by map rotation. It just works for the different maps that you put in this file. So you can just edit it and put any map ID you want. And that's it. That's all I know about making Splatfests. But we still have one huge glaring issue. If you try and make another Splatfest, you're gonna notice a few things weird. First off, if you've already gone through the news that the Splatfest is occurring, it won't come up again, which is a problem. And also, if you had already pledged last Splatfest, if you go there again, you'll see that you're still on the same team that you pledged last time, which, not ideal. However, I have not been able to find an elegant way to fix that, to reset it back to the way it was. But I have kind of a hacky workaround for that, to just reset it in the save file. So we don't need Toolbox anymore, so we can just close that. So now you'll need 2 other programs, HXD and Splathex. So to reset your Splatfest, open Hext, and then open save.dat. So you'll want to go to NLC01 again, user, save, then 50,000, 10176900, user, and then if you see multiple ones, you'll want to go back to your CMU, go to Options, General Settings, then Account, and then you'll want to select your account. So mine is 80, starts with 8, ends in 1, and then want to go back, starts with 8, ends in 1, and then your save.dat. I was messing with save data earlier, so you will not see this folder or any of these save.dats. You will only see save.dat. So open that, and now you're going to see the raw bytes of your save file. And this looks really complicated, that's because it is, but this is all you have to do. So to do this, you'll want to hit Control-G, and then you'll want to type in B2E7. Now you're going to see this U followed by this. So what you're going to want to do, so on the same line you're going to see this FC here, so then just put FF, 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 FF. And to get the announcement to show back up again hit Control-G, and then type in B2EC. That, and it'll see it'll put you at a byte that says 01. Change that to 00, and then save it. And that's it. Your Splatfest data is now reset. But do not open Splatoon yet, because if you do, your save data will get completely wiped. The game checks to see whether the save file has been tampered with, and if it is, it'll just wipe the game. So how do you fix that? That's where Splat comes in. You first open that, then go to File, Open, and then click your save.dat. And then I recommend going to Options, and then uncheck Auto Legality Check. Then just Save As, and then overwrite your save.dat. And that's it. Now if you go back to Splatoon, and now you can see that the Splatfest announcement is now showing up again. You can also see that I have not voted yet, and now it's like you never created a Splatfest. And that is all I know on how to make your own custom Splatfest. If you like what you saw, consider subscribing, and if there's something that I missed, which I did, I probably missed a lot of things, but if you know something about the Splatfest stuff that I don't, feel free to put it in the comments, and I'll make a pinned comment on all the corrections and updates. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.